Hello everybody, TyronnCannon here, and welcome to a brand new series on my channel on NBA 2K23. This is going to be the 80-year rebuild of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, what this means, we're doing it in my league. So I'm just going to set up the my league while I talk in the background. As you can see, I've put in a little bit of practice on different save files in preparation to doing this series. This is a series that I've wanted to do conceptually for 2 years. I wanted to do it like in my own private time, but I've never got around to doing it. But now that I've got a YouTube channel and I've got a decent sort of fan base, I thought this would be a great time for me to do this particular series. Now, it's not going to be your ordinary My League save file, mainly because it's going to go for the full 80 seasons. For those of you who don't know, My League goes for 80 years. But we're going to be doing it with some custom settings in terms of My League and how it's set up. So everything else up to this point is going to be the same. Recent trade restrictions are going to be on, all that kind of thing. Put user roster injuries on. But the simulated difficulty and the trade negotiation is going to be a lot more difficult than it typically is. These by default are at 50. As you can see, I've got them on screen as what they are. So I've also turned injuries down because nobody likes to see injuries. So I've turned that down by 10. So it's now sitting at 40. But everything else is the same. So as I said, we're going to be using the Minnesota Timberwolves. I wanted to use a team that has never won an NBA championship. And I feel like the Timberwolves are in a very unique position. They've recently acquired Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz for a buttload of draft picks and a lot of their depth. So this is going to be a very interesting rebuild. Basically, apart from Towns, Gobert, and Edwards, nobody is safe. I'm going to try and make some trades over the course of the first season. Basically, what's going to happen is one episode of this series is going to equate to one season. So there's going to be 80 episodes. So in these episodes, we're just going to use auto-generated rookies as well. I'm not going to use any downloaded draft classes. So it's going to be all regenerated players. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. So all the regular season, the postseason, the draft, free agency, that's all going to be in one video. And then once we get to the end of the postseason, that's going to mark the end of the episode. So basically, let's have a look at the roster. First things first, I'm going to be moving Towns to power forward. I feel like that's his more natural position. We just put his secondary position as center because for whatever reason, when you move it, it doesn't delegate it. But that's fine. So he's going to be playing power forward. Gobert's going to be playing center. Edwards, I like him more at shooting guard, but we're going to leave him at small forward for now. D'Angelo Russell, I will be looking to trade him at some point this season. He is a free agent at the end of the year. He's on an expiring contract. So I do have a couple of players in mind of who I would like to trade him for. But one thing I would like to look at quickly is we have 2 first-round draft picks to trade, and we've got 2 second-rounders this season. I will be looking to utilize these draft picks in a trade this season. We can always trade for more draft picks in the future. I've found that it is quite easy to get second round and first round draft picks by just trading away your bench in seasons as you go further into the future. But the rest of the roster, I must admit, I don't know a great deal about the rest of the roster. I don't follow the Timberwolves that closely. I might be needing to seek the help of my brother-in-law, who's a massive Timberwolves fan. So I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Personally, I was very happy with the Donovan Mitchell trade. But first things first, I'm going to just trim the roster a little bit. Because I do want to sign Pascal to a permanent deal. I know that leaves us a little thin at shooting guard. We've got a lot of small forwards, a lot of wing players. Wendell Moore Jr. is our first round draft pick for this season. What's his potential like? He's got C+ potential. He's a 3-point shooter. So we might actually just send him to the G League first of all, just to get him some extra experience. I feel like he's going to be okay. I don't know that much about him. He went to Duke as his college career. What's his 3-point rating? It's a 76, so that could definitely be improved. But I feel like sending him to the G League, getting him some extra experience, will bring him back around halfway through the season, maybe once we make some roster changes. But I will be utilising the G League quite a bit. Nobody's ready for a contract extension just yet. I'm not really too interested in extending anybody's contract just yet. I will be looking... This will be a very much performance-based series. I'm not going to be playing a lot of games, but it's going to be more about team building, statistics, analytics, that kind of thing. So if you're looking for more gameplay, maybe this kind of thing isn't for you, but I'm quite nerdy when it comes to stats and that kind of thing. So let's have a quick look at the coaching staff. They do have Chris Finch as their coach, who I feel halfway about. I don't know that much about him, but he got the Timberwolves to the playoffs last season, so it's definitely improvement on past seasons, but I'm going to be trying to win a championship every season. Because as I said, we've only got 80 years. That's a weird sentence to say, only 80 years. 80 years is a long time, but I want to be competitive for as long as I can. So I might fire him actually, because Michael Stauffer, he's actually the guy who is in charge of making all the ratings for each of the players. I want to be as successful as I can in season number 1. So we're going to hire Michael Stauffer to a 4-year contract, and we will hire Otis Newman as his assistant. We'll bring his contract down to about $650K. Obviously, because we are relatively a small city franchise, we aren't as financially affluent as, let's say, the Lakers, who I've been trying to do the same thing with in one of my practice save files. I think we've won 5 championships in 8 years. So that's sort of the measuring stick as to what I'm aiming for in the first sort of 10 years of this save file. Obviously, the Lakers have LeBron and Anthony Davis, but outside of that, they don't have a great deal of talent at the moment. But there's a lot of potential with the Lakers. They have some of their draft picks, not all of them. But they have a lot more draft picks than we do. So I think we'll keep the rest of the staff for now. Actually, we'll get rid of Wyatt Mills. We'll bring in Cuba Gooding, who is a very good scout. We'll sign him to a $200,000 contract for 4 years. It's $200,000 per season. Now that we've changed our coach, we might need to just fix up the lineup. I'm going with an 8-man rotation. It's typically what I go for in these series that I do. I also want to have get shooters open. Actually, on a pick and roll heavy offense. So D'Angelo Russell, while I still have him, is going to be running the pick and roll with Gobert and Towns. I won't do any scoring options at this stage. I might change it later down the line. But I think Edwards and Towns are going to be our main scorers. D'Angelo Russell, I'm going to look for him to be a bit more of a distributor. For while he's still on the team, I'm going to be looking to trade him maybe around December, January. Getting closer to the trade deadline. But I think this is a good start. Let's get into the first couple of games. I just will quickly add D'Angelo Russell to the trading block, as well as Naz Reid. I'm not going to bring him back. Anybody that's on a 1-year contract, I'm just adding them to the trading block. Pascal, he's recently been signed, so we can't do that just yet. Dozier and Austin Rivers, why not? Untouchables at this stage is Gobert, Towns, and Edwards. And I think we are ready to start the season, so I'm going to simulate forward for a little bit, and I'll be back in a couple of games' time just to see where we're at. All right, guys, we've made it to January. We're currently 17 and 24, which isn't ideal. I'm curious to see where that has us ranked in the Western Conference. We're heading towards I don't think we're quite in the play-in tournament. Hang on, let me figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're in the play-in tournament by 1 game. So we had a really hot start to the season. We won the first 4 games of the season, and then things have kind of fallen off since then. Gobert got injured for a little bit, but he's back now. He's just come back. I've also done a little bit of scouting in the background. So I will show you that in a second, but there's one player in mind that I think will really help this team. It's going to leave us without a point guard, but it's Bradley Beal. I would really like to get Bradley Beal on this team. I think if we can flip D'Angelo Russell's contract for Bradley Beal, we'd need to add another player like Taurean Prince to make the money work. We could try and do something. Do they have a point guard they could give us? They don't. Okay, let's just give us JaMychal Green. Did they get him from the Warriors? They did. Okay, we'll try and take JaMychal Green off their hands. Will they do this trade straight up? They want Towns. That's not going to happen. We can't trade either of our first round draft picks. That's annoying. Okay, let's do something like this. Towns is unavailable. We might need to... Can we trade Naz Reid? That's not going to work. I don't think we can get Bradley Beal. They want Towns. It's not going to happen. So maybe we should try and find a point guard to flip D'Angelo Russell for. I'm thinking we want someone relatively young. I would like to get someone like... Who could we get, potentially? Davion Mitchell? No. Marco Fultz? No. Let's just see what we could get for D'Angelo Russell. I'd ideally like a point guard or someone like that could give us some picks. And someone that's not on an expiring contract. That would be nice. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's on an expiring contract, but we do get a first round pick from the Pistons. Jae'Sean Tate from the Rockets, we do get their first round pick. Sorry, it's Milwaukee's first round pick. That's potentially interesting because we could flip Jae'Sean Tate in the offseason. I have no intention of keeping him. But if we could get the Rockets pick, I'd much prefer that. They only want us to give up Jaden McDaniels and Boban. They want to give us Boban. Okay. I'd happily do this trade. Let's do this trade. It's going to leave us without a starting caliber point guard, but I feel like we can always just sign one in free agency. So, who is available? Okay, Jordan McLaughlin's our only point guard. That's not ideal. Okay, we need to get rid of a small forward. I'm going to trade Austin Rivers. Mainly, and we'll trade Dozier as well because we don't need 2 bench small forwards. Patrick Baldwin Jr. He's a good guy with high potential. I feel like we could get him for a second round pick. We'd get Mac McClung as well. He's a good 3-point shooter. That's a trade I'm really interested in. I only think that McClung is on an expiring contract, but I think we should be okay with that. Baldwin's on a 4-year deal. I'm going to do this trade. This is a good trade for us. We'll send Baldwin down to the G League. I might actually release McClung. It's just to create us a bit of room on our roster. We'll send Baldwin down to the G League. We can't do that just yet. Free agency. We need a point guard. Chris Dunn. We'll bring him back to Minnesota. Why not? Not Melo. We'll sign him to a 2-year deal. We'll give him 5.5 a year. Sign him for 2 years. We'll probably flip him in the off season. Where's us? There we go. Patrick Baldwin, we'll send you down to the G League. Chris Dunn, welcome back to Minnesota. So this is the lineup at the moment. We'll still stick with the 8-man rotation. Boban's going to have a great time mentoring our Naz Reid, I don't know. But that's one thing I haven't done is what I'll do probably next season is player mentorship. Because I was able to get a guy on the Lakers who I mentored. He was mentored by LeBron. Where is training? There we go. Player mentorship. And he was... Oh, it's already done it for me. Okay, apparently I did that. He was incredible due to the mentoring from LeBron. So we might actually try and get our pick back from the Jazz. I know we've got the Rockets pick, but I'd ideally like one more pick. Where's the Jazz? Let's get our pick back. Okay, let's try and do a trade here with the Jazz. Get our pick back for this season. We will give you... We'll give you Taurean Prince. Okay, and just give us one of your bench players. Give us Saban Lee. We don't... Oh, this is annoying. Okay. We might leave that for now. We can always trade back for our pick in the off-season. But I've done a little bit of scouting in the background. And there is this one shooting guard who's projected to go number 1. The only problem is he's a overseas player, which means we won't get him until in 2 years season's time. But he's 81 overall. He seems to have good potential. His projection is Jimmy Butler at its ceiling. Worst case scenario, he's Lance Stevenson, who is the starter. So, but he looks really good. I really like the look of him. Arvidas Sankovic. So I'm going to try and get him with the number 1 pick. So he's projected to go second, but we can always trade in the offseason to work our way up into the top 2. I will sim forward to the trade deadline, assuming that have I done that? I have. I'm going to make sure we don't do any more moves until the trade deadline, so I'll be back in a little while. All right, we've received an offer for Eric Pascal. It's Vlatko Kankar, who's on a 2-year deal for Eric Pascal, who is on a 1-year deal, and we get Denver's second-round pick in 2024. I'm going to do this trade. Just we need to get as much draft capital as we can. Kyle, and it's not Carl, is also back from injury, so I'm going to try and flip him at some point. We're almost at the trade deadline. We might actually just sim forward on camera here. Timberwolves receive. They want Wendell Moore. That's not going to happen. Wendell Moore's really popular, so we might have to bring him out of the G League now. We'll keep scouting at the moment. We'll stop here. Let's flip everybody that's on a 1-year contract. And we'll send them... No, Noel's injured. That's annoying. Nasri, we're going to flip these guys. Hopefully for either guys that are on a 2-year contract or a second-round pick. Kessler Edwards. He looks good. 22 years old. Good 3-point shooter. Has he got good potential, though? I'm looking for guys with high potential at the moment. B potential. Okay, we might have to sign this guy. What's his contract situation? He's on a 2-year deal. Markieff Morris, we can just waive him. That's fine. I'm going to do this trade. I'm also going to hope that we get 2 second-round picks for Kankar. Done. Easy. Easy peasy. We're 21 and 36. We're probably not going to make the playoffs. So that's a little bit disappointing. Jalen Noel, I need him to come back before the trade deadline. He's not going to come back in time, unfortunately. So that is annoying. Towns is currently out with a small injury. Gobert's upset for some reason, and I don't know why. Who else can we... I'm going to bring Wendell Moore back out of the G League. We're going to call up Wendell Moore and Patrick Baldwin Jr. Just realised they're both juniors. And I'm actually going to work them into the rotation just as bench pieces. Wendell Moore's actually our starting shooting guard now, so that's quite funny. But Patrick Baldwin Jr. is going to come off the bench for us. And this is just going to be an experiment for the rest of the season, just to see how we go. So we've reached the trade deadline. I don't think there's anybody that's going to want to extend their contract, so that's fine. I'm going to meet you guys at the end of the season. Alright guys, the season has ended. We finished 26-56. Not a good first season at all. But that's what happens when you've got the simulated difficulty so high. Luka Doncic wins MVP for a 37-point triple-double. Paolo Banchero gets Rookie of the Year. Malcolm Brogdon gets not Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year. Giannis gets Defensive Player of the Year. Trey Jones gets Most Improved. Nice. And Ime Udoka, rest in peace to his coaching career, he got Coach of the Year. So I don't think any of our guys would have reached the All-NBA teams. Maybe Towns did. Oh yeah, Towns made All-NBA third team. How did he finish? Let's have a look. He finished 24-9. Had a career year for shooting from 3. He was really good. So Gobert probably made an all-defensive team, all-defensive second team. Yeah, 2.2 blocks per game. He was really good. So but yeah, no playoffs action for us this year. But that just means we can get ready for the postseason. Sorry, the off-season, not the postseason. Let's see who wins the championship. Lakers Celtics in the finals. That is surprising. Celtics win. Jason Tatum gets finals MVP. Udonis Haslem retires. None of our guys will probably retire. We're fairly young. Popovich on the Wizards retires as head coach. That's weird. Dwight Howard, Hall of Fame. Happy days. Now, league meetings. I'm going to be tinkering around with the league rules at the moment. I want 13 players from each team in the All-Star game. 13 players from each conference, sorry. I want high schoolers to be able to enter the draft. I would like, where is the thing that I'm looking for? 3 fouls committed in a single quarter before the bonus. Just because I think that creates higher scoring games. Speaking of higher scoring games, shot clock's being reduced to 20 seconds. I want high scoring games. I like it when the high scoring games happen. I think it's really cool. And where's the last thing I'm looking for? 6 seconds to advance to the front court when passing the ball in. So we'll do that. Draft lottery time. We probably should, the Rockets pick should be in here. We're projected to go 6th. The Jazz have our pick at 4. We'll watch the lottery to see how it happens. Brooklyn. I didn't think they had their pick this year. Anyway. Okay, nothing changes at this point. The Raptors sitting at 13. The Kings now gonna have their pick. Trailblazers 2.5% chance. No, they say at 11. Everything holding form so far. The New York Knicks didn't have a good season. They're still at 10. Hornets. Oh, OKC. So that means Hornets have jumped up into the top 4. That's our pick. We got 8th. Okay. Hornets go 2nd. Jazz with our pick go 3rd. But we traded for the top 8 pick. So that's a good trade for us, I guess. Staff signing. We're going to sign a new CFO. Logan Mills, welcome aboard. And we're going to sign a new trainer. We'll sign Sean Lee. What the hell's going on? There we go. We're also going to get rid of Austin Green. I know he's on a 1-year deal. I'm going to bring in Michael Williams, who looks like he's really good. There we go. We've signed all of our staff. I like how our staff looks right now. It just occurred to me that Stauffer and our assistant coach have the same suit on. That's quite funny. All right, off-season times. My favorite time to make some moves. Sean Tate is getting traded. I'm going to trade for as much draft capital as I can. 2 first-round picks from the Lakers. We will take that for sure. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Kyle Anderson is next. A first-round pick from the Bulls. We might come back to that one. First-round pick from Max Christie. Interesting. Might just take all the Lakers players. No, we'll do the Bulls one, I think, because I think that might be Portland's pick. Where's the Bulls? Bulls. It is Portland's pick. We'll do this one. All right, who's next? Moore will keep. Baldwin will keep. Dunn we can't trade. He's out for the season with a fractured right leg. Let's try and move up to number 1. Who's got the number 1 pick? Number one pick. The Wizards, they can't trade their pick. Who was second? The Hornets were second. We should be able to get their pick. No, 3 was the Jazz, I think, with our pick. Alright. We'll give them pick 8. And we'll give them not our pick next year, we'll give them the Trailblazers pick. And we don't have any more players to trade them. We'll give them that pick as well. And we will give them... We'll give them our pick next year. But I feel like we can always get more first round draft picks later. There we go. We get our draft pick. Now, we're probably going to take Arvydas Sankovic if we can. If not, I'm going to try and trade for him with the Lakers picks. Because I feel like he's going to be really good. Look at those stats while playing overseas. He is going to be incredible. Now, our draft pick situation isn't ideal at the moment. We do have a second round pick as well, which is the 31st pick, which we got from the Jazz. Desmond Grant is an injury concern. Let's just see how we go. Hopefully, Sankovic falls to us at 3. Cliff Justice goes first. That's okay. Please fall to 3. Please fall to 3. He does! Very good. Bill Jenkins goes second out of Wake Forest. Now we have Sankovic at 3, who we will take out of Lithuania. Arvydas Sankovic. Let's skip forward to our second round pick. Now, I want to take a point guard. Juan Carlos Chavez out of Mexico looks really good. He had a really good season. He's a bit of a sharpshooter, 79 overall. What's his potential like? He's got B potential. So I think we might take him. He looks really good. And that'll do our draft very nicely. Sankovic, 81 overall. I'm really happy with that draft selection. We're going to sign these guys. We're going to accept team options on all these guys. Bring them back. Qualifying offers, we don't have any. We are now at free agency. First and foremost, I'll be trading Chris Dunn. He's healed from his injury. We're going to get a first round pick from the Thunder from the Clippers. Now, the Clippers do get really bad very quickly once Paul George and Kawhi Leonard regress. So I'm actually quite happy with that. McLaughlin's going to get traded. We're going to get another pick from the Clippers, which is via Golden State. So we're going to make up that pick as well. So we're just racking up all the first round draft picks. Taurean Prince, we're going to trade him because I'm not the biggest Taurean Prince fan in the world. We're going to get a pick from the Spurs via Atlanta. That's going to be apart from the Dejounte Murray trade. So we're going to get a lot of picks now. I really want to keep everybody else. I might get rid of Edwards, considering he's on the last year of his contract. But he's really cheap, so we might actually keep him. How much money do we have to play with? We have 18 million, which is a lot more than I thought I would have. We're set up, not really set at point guard. We need a shooting guard because we might move Edwards to shooting guard just for this season. What does that do to his overall? Keeps it the same. Okay. We're going to move Edwards to shooting guard for this season because Stankovic is overseas. And then when he comes back, we'll move him back to small forward. And that way we can get either Moore or Baldwin to start at small forward. Power forward, we're fine. And center, we're fine. Okay, so we need... what do we need? We need a backup power forward, as well as a backup point guard. So let's use our money wisely. We could get Fred VanVleet. That could be an interesting one. I don't really want to spend all of our money on one player, though. Shooting guard, we're fine. Small forward, we're fine. Power forward, we need a backup power forward. Draymond Green? He does regress very quickly, so maybe not. And center, no, we don't need a center. Let's go Fred VanVleet. Where is he? 29. We'll give him a... we won't give him a 4-year deal. We'll give him... How have we got? We got 28 million to spend. I thought we had... Okay. We have more money than I thought. It says cap room 18 million. We might have a couple of trade exceptions or something, so we might be able to get Draymond Green. And play him at small forward, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about this. Give me 1 second and I'll come back. Alright guys, I've had a think about it, and I think the best thing that we can do is sign Fred VanVleet. I think that is the best thing that we can do. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal. I'm going to sign him to around 25 million a season. I think that's about his price. So 3 years, 75 million total. As for the backup point forward, power forward position, I'm going to try and just see if Fred VanVleet signs first and foremost. So I'm going to renounce all these guys. We've got 5 million left to sign. Could bring Wiggins back, that's funny. So, yeah, let's have a look at someone... Javonte Green, that could be a guy we could sign. Let's give him a 2-year. Go 2 years, 6.5. And that'll get us through to the end of the moratorium. Now I think we've got a mid-level exception that we can use. We've got our point guard in Fred VanVleet. We've got our shooting guard in Edwards and Stankovic. Small forward, we've got the young guys. Power forward, we're set. We need a backup center as our next objective. So Robin Lopez on the cheap could be really good. We don't have our mid-level exception. We just sign minimum guys now. So Robin Lopez is a good backup center. We've got to sign another guy like that. Maxi Kleber, hybrid defender. That could be really good. We'll sign him to a 2-year. Who is next? We need backup shooting guard because we don't have one yet. Gary Harris could be good. And Denzel Valentine is, I think, the guys that we're going to go after. We're going to go Gary Harris for 1 year. Denzel Valentine for 2, hopefully. No, he's just going to be interested in 1. We need 2 more roster spots filled. So we've got our point guards. We need a backup small forward and backup point guard. Let's go Rondo. I don't think he's ever played in Minnesota. He might enjoy it. And backup small forward. Let's go Justin Jackson. Actually, no, let's not go Justin Jackson. Danny Green. And that'll do it, I think, for this season. Let's go to player progression. Let's see how our guys progress. Towns goes up. Gobert goes up. Edwards goes up. VanVleet drops a little bit, which is okay. Wendell Moore goes up to an 80 overall, so really happy with that. Patrick Baldwin goes up. Edwards goes up. Valentine goes up, weirdly enough. The older guys drop down a little bit, but that's expected. So really happy with how the player progression went. Won't do the Summer League. We might do that next season. All-Star City, do we get the All-Star? We don't, it's in Indiana. That's fine. auto-generated rookies again. Training camps is going to be very important for us. We've only got 2 training camps to go through. Let's give it to Sankovic. Get that potential as high as we can. And let's give it to Chavez as well. And that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you wish to join my Discord, there's a link to that below. And I'll be back next time with Season 2 of this series. See you guys then.